So today we'll be talking about group dashboard for BIAP project part 2. The topic we're presented with is whether Singapore can go car light. We'll be looking at two different perspectives. One will be Singapore can go car light and other is Singapore cannot go car light. First we'll be talking about why Singapore can go car light. From this graph, it depicts the average ridership for both MRT and LRT over the years from 2004 to 2014. The graph shows there's been an increase for both MRT and LRT in the ridership. There's a significant increase for MRT ridership as compared to LRT. A reason why is this because there are fewer LRT than MRT in Singapore. We can infer that more people are dependent on MRT as the ridership for MRT increased. As more people depend on MRT for their mode of transport, lesser people will take private hire cars to get around, hence reducing the number of cars on the road and thus allowing Singapore to go car light. Next, this graph, the influence of number of bus routes on number of journeys made. It shows the public transport journeys made increases while the number of operational bus routes increases from 2010 to 2013. So you can see, from 2010 to 2013, the number of journeys made with bus has been increasing. You can see that from 2010, the number of bus routes has been increasing also. This means that the number of operational bus routes is a factor in increasing usage of buses and pushing Singaporeans to use public transport instead of private cars. Therefore, since more bus routes will influence more public transport journeys, Singapore can go car light by implementing more bus routes to serve Singaporeans and create a cohesive public transport network. This graph shows the average distance by cars in general. It shows a decreasing amount of distance travelled by cars over the years from 2005 to 2014. You can see it's been decreasing. From 2011 to 2014, there have been a decrease of 2,500 kilometers. We can infer that people are using less of their cars and using more of public transport to get around. This means that more people are dependent on public transport for their transportation. This means that more people are satisfied in using the public transport, and this will allow Singapore to become a carless society as there's lesser car on the roads. Next, we'll be looking at reasons why Singapore cannot go car light. In this graph, it illustrates the total population of taxis and private hire cars in Singapore from 2012 to 2017. As you can see, the population for taxis have been decreasing, while the population for private hire cars have been increasing. We can conclude that one of the reasons why there's an increase of private hire cars is because lesser people are taking taxis. Since lesser people are taking taxis, the demand of taxi has decreased, and that causes the supply to decrease as well. For my research, I found out that people prefer private hire cars to taxis. The reasons were that they were able to get the arrival time of the ride, the fare for the ride, and the quality of the driver. Since more people are using private hire cars, the demand for private hire cars increased, thus increasing the number of private hire cars in Singapore. We can determine that with more and more people using private hire cars, the number of taxis will decrease, and there will be more private hire cars to meet the increasing demands, and thus creating more cars on the road and not allowing Singapore to go car light. From this graph, you can see that the population for vehicles are either stagnant, increasing or decreasing, and as for cars, it has been slowly decreasing. As you can see in 2014, they had 60,176 cars, but in the year 2017, they had 546,706 cars, which was decreasing, which is good if Singapore wants to go car light. But when you look at taxis, in 2014, there were 28,746 taxis, but in the year 2017, there were only 23,140 taxis. The only one that was on the rise was rental cars. In the year 2014, there were 18,847, but in the year 2017, there were 68,083 rental cars. Therefore, in my opinion, I feel that Singapore will have trouble going car light, and they should concentrate their efforts on buses and trains instead of taxis, as even though it stated in the article that they wanted to curb the amount of private hire cars, the increase in vehicles were over 16,000 within a year. This is due to Grab and Uber getting a firm grip in Singapore and users being found to just having book with your phone and rather to flag one down. So to conclude, So what's our key takeaway for this dashboard? From our graph, we can conclude that Singapore can actually go car light. From the ridership of MRT and the journeys taken by bus have been increasing, it means that more people are using public transport as their mode of transportation. Also, the decrease in the average distance traveled by cars indicates that lesser people are using cars to get around. From these results, we have determined that more and more people are dependent on public transport rather than cars or private hire cars. This will decrease the number of cars on the road and allowing Singapore to become a car-light society. However, a factor that hinders the Singapore dream in becoming a car-light society is the increasing demand for private hire cars, that you can see from here. From the graph, we can determine that there are more private hire cars over the years due to strong demand for it. The increased demand is caused by many people prefer taking private hire cars to taxis, as stated before. Also, the decrease in taxis also adds to the increasing demand for private hire cars. As the Singapore government is already trying to curb the growth of private hire cars, they should also try to improve taxi service and appeal them to the public. As we have inferred that the rise of private hire cars were partially caused by people not being satisfied with taxis. So by improving the taxi service, this will decrease the demand for private hire cars and thus causing a decrease in private hire cars. So in the future, Singapore can definitely become a car-less society. Thank you.